Well, good evening, and welcome to tonight's debate between the four candidates for selectmen of Sturbridge. My name is Keith Turley. I'm Executive Vice President of Turley Publications, publisher of the Town Common newspaper, sponsor of tonight's debate, and I'd like to think most importantly, an 18-year resident of Sturbridge. So I take great personal interest in proceedings tonight. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the people that have made tonight possible. First, thank you to the Town of Sturbridge and Town Administrator Jim Malloy for allowing the use of the space and arranging for the debate to be televised on public access television. I'd also like to thank the candidates for their participation and Mike Miller for moderating tonight's debate. Finally, I'd like to thank the staff of the Tantascwa Town Common, Tim Kane, our executive editor, Matt Burnett, our editor. They put in a lot of hard work and many hours to make this possible. Once again this year, Sturbridge is faced with many daunting issues. The construction of the new elementary school is still on the docket. Broadening our tax base, how much growth we should have, and what form that growth should take. All familiar themes that were around last year as well. Those issues are made particularly important today given the state of the national and the regional economy. Against that backdrop, we have four citizens that you see before you that have stepped forward and asked for your vote for a seat, for one of the two seats on the Board of Selectmen. The purpose of tonight is to provide a nonpartisan forum for the candidates to air their views, to have some questions that we prepared through our staff and through input from the public, and ultimately to better educate the voters of Sturbridge as to their choices coming up in April. One note, this debate will be rebroadcast. It is being broadcast live now, and it will be rebroadcast on public access. In addition, please look for full coverage in the upcoming issue of the Town Common. We will also be posting video excerpts of the debate, and Matt Burnett is going to be doing some blogging, and all that will be available on towncommon.wordpress.com. I'd like to turn things over to Matt, who will go over the format, introduce the candidates, and introduce our moderator. Thank you. Matt?
Hi, thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Matthew Burnett, editor of the Town Common. I just want to thank James Earhart, Edward Goodwin, Mr. Thomas Creamer, and Mr. Priscilla Jimmins for joining us tonight, and our moderator, Michael Miller. I'm going to go over the date formats right now. Questions from the moderator will begin after a 3-minute opening statement from candidates. Then several rounds of questions will be asked that were provided by Town Common staff and reader submissions. The questions can be directed to each individual candidate or to the group as a whole. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. The moderator may extend the 2-minute response time at his discretion. The moderator has the option to pose follow-up questions, and the same candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. If time allows, we will allow a second round where candidates may ask questions of each other. The moderator can stop or redirect commentary if it becomes a personal attack or off point. The 2-minute time frame for answers and refuting by candidates will apply. And to close the debate, if time allows, the moderator will read aloud written and signed questions of all or one candidate from the audience. Candidates will have 1 minute to respond. Each candidate is allowed 1 minute for his statement. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to first welcome all the candidates. I also would like to, an unsolicited comment, but thank the Town Common for doing this for the second year in a row. I grew up with a weekly newspaper, and it's just, you guys do a great job. I know you supply that to every home, if I'm not mistaken, free of charge, in both Sturbridge and the other towns as listed below, and I think it's a great service. So we will start off with an opening comment. If you could just introduce yourselves. We picked numbers before we started tonight. This is the order. And if you could just take 3 minutes and introduce yourselves and tell us why you're running for selectman. James.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. My name is James Earhart. I want to thank the Town Common also for having this debate tonight. I think the Town Common has done an important service for the town of Sturbridge over the last couple of years. The passion you saw for last year's race and the passion which you're seeing right now as you drive around town for this year's race is in part not only because people in town are interested in where the town is headed, but also because they now have a forum to discuss these issues and a place to find out what's going on. And the Telegram and Gazette can only provide so much local coverage. The town common has really become one of the main forums for local news. And today's debate is further evidence of how important role they play in the town. And I personally want to thank them for that. Now, what is my role in this debate about where the town is headed? Well, let me begin by saying I'm obviously in my 30s. I'm 34 years old. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter, a 2-year-old son, mind you, who would probably like be watching this tonight, but I suspect the mother has put them to bed and herself is not watching this. With that said, I bring a certain perspective to where I think this town should be headed and what role a selectman can play in making that happen. And let's be clear, the Board of Selectmen, or government in general, cannot make development happen in a town. But the Board of Selectmen and the government can squelch or stop or slow down natural development in a town. I think the pace of growth is really the key question this town faces as we go forward. No one in this town wants rapid, overwhelming development. And as the town said in last year's election and at the annual town meeting, this town also does want development. And there are certain things that this town government needs to do to allow that development to happen naturally within the marketplace. Admittedly, in today's economy, you're not going to see that type of development. But over the next few years, developers are going to be looking for a place to go. And Sturbridge needs to be that place. It is the natural place for them to come in South Worcester County. Mass Pike, I-84 cross here. Now, Route 15 is really the focal point of this discussion. No one wants to see strip malls there or massive development. What I think people want to see over there is some type of development which generates quality revenues through commercial taxes, thereby increasing quality of life. You hear many proposals. I'm not a developer. But some of the choices I hear people in town want is something between a Millbury Plaza and an Evergreen Walk in Connecticut, which has a movie theater on it, a bowling alley, some miniature golf. So our families and our senior citizens don't need to drive to Millbury or Wilbraham. They can stay here in town. And most importantly, this is a tourist town. And tourists will tell you they have nowhere to go when Old Sturbridge Village closes, except for the restaurants. If we provide them, or allow developers to have the opportunity to provide a movie theater, a golf course, a miniature golf course, a bowling alley, I think we'll see those tourist dollars come back in. Is my time up?
If you don't mind.
So
We'll get back to it.
We'll get back. There's a lot to talk about.
I think tonight on 15.
Yes.
Ed,